Believe it or not, and who would have thought these words would have came out of my mouth, especially with how bad they were last year? I think this game's going to come down to Colorado's defense. I think Colorado's going to be prepared. I think they're going to be ready. But here's another thing we need to talk about. This Buffalo team is now facing a new narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you are having a great week. Hope all of you are having a great Friday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. Man, oh man, it is time for the Colorado versus Texas Tech preview. I know. I've been holding off on this one, but trust me, I haven't forgot about it, and I'm saving the best for last. This is arguably, actually, scratch that. No. This is the biggest game of the season for Colorado. If they can win this one, they have a great shot of winning out because their next 3 games aren't even near as hard. But the most important thing outside just winning this game is if you do win it, it's looking like they got a great shot at winning the Big 12. Winning this game is going to have Colorado in perfect and prime position, and this is where they wanted to be. If I were to tell a Colorado fan heading into the season, you're going to be 6-2 and you control your destiny, I think they take it. But let it be known right now, this is not going to be some easy peasy win because the Texas Tech football team, they're pretty solid. Are they amazing? No, but they beat Iowa State last week, so take that for what you want. As we all know or should know, Colorado did not play last week, and it's always nice to have a nice little bye week so everybody can get healthy. As where it stands right now, hold on, I'm pulling it up. I would assume Colorado is favored by 4 points. I figured it'd be around 2 or 3, so 4, yeah, it's not too bad. This game does kick off at 3 p.m. on Fox. Kind of weird because normally, well, not normally, but it seems like every time Colorado plays, it's at like 9 p.m. Let's talk about the game itself. There is a huge, and I mean a huge, cannot emphasize this enough, huge discrepancy in the rushing attack. Colorado does not like to run the ball, but Texas Tech does like to run the ball. If you don't want to take my word for it, I'll show you these numbers right here. These are cold hard facts. Colorado's leading rusher, Augusto, has 271 total yards this year. Texas Tech's leading rusher has 204 carries for over 1,000 yards. Do as you please with that information. I don't think anybody's going to argue with this. Texas Tech has the edge in the rushing attack. Wide receivers, yeah, Texas Tech's got a couple solid guys, but you got to give it to Colorado, don't you? Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn Jr., Wester, and there's a couple other guys as well. Omarion Miller. When it comes down to the quarterback position, we got Mr. Shedeur Sanders, Abraham Morton, and no disrespect to Morton, but Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the nation, so it didn't matter who was the opposing quarterback for the other team. Shedeur Sanders in Colorado, they're getting the edge there. Here's an interesting fun fact for you. You know your boy Matt loves his fun facts. So Texas Tech this year has scored over 300 total points, which is amazing, but they have also allowed over 300 total points. They're the only, I'm going to repeat that word, the only team in the FBS to do that. So yeah, it's great. You've scored over 300, but the downside is you're also allowing over 300. Double-edged sword. How about we do another one? Colorado has scored 25 points in 6 straight games. And to go on top of that, in 6 straight games as well, Shedeur Sanders has thrown for more than 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Why did I just share all those fun facts with you, you may ask? Because it hopefully gives you a better perspective. Texas Tech has 2 major, and I mean 2 major problems heading into this game and matchup. Number 1, their defense is awful. Number 2, Colorado has one of the best quarterbacks and best wide receivers in the nation. Bad defense going up, really great quarterback. Not a combination you like to see if you're a defensive coordinator. I'll show it to you right here. Just in the last 5 games alone, Texas Tech has allowed a lot, and I mean a lot of points, to teams that aren't nearly as good as Colorado on offense. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is going to happen this Saturday? What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? I tell you this much, nobody with 2 functioning brain cells actually believes Colorado is going to, quote-unquote, struggle on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to score points. As to how many points, I guess we got to wait and see, but I'd be shocked if Colorado does not get into the 30s, bare minimum. So what does that mean for Texas Tech? Your offense has to be playing really good and clicking on all cylinders just to have a chance. Here's the good news for Texas Tech. Their offense has been really good this season, so I do think they got a fighting chance. I say they got a fighting chance like it'd be some major upset. No, I think they have a great chance of winning this ball game. Believe it or not, and who would have thought these words would have came out of my mouth, especially with how bad they were last year? I think this game's going to come down to Colorado's defense. I'm not saying Colorado's defense has to pitch a shutout. No. But just get a couple of stops here and there. Force a turnover, maybe get a pick 6, scoop and score, something like that. It's not even like you've got to shut them down. Just contain them. Because like I said all throughout this video, the good news for Colorado is that Texas Tech defense is awful. And I think that Colorado defense is sound, and they've been pretty solid this season. And the great news for them, and this takes a ton of pressure off your defense, especially if you're a defensive player, you know your offense is going to put up a lot of points. So just get a couple of stops. Obviously, it is way easier said than done against this Red Raiders offense. Texas Tech is talented, but in like every game this season for Colorado, what is taking them over the edge is their superstar players like Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. I know we talk about them a lot, but there's a reason we talk about them a lot. Travis Hunter, and more importantly, Shedeur Sanders, is the reason Colorado is 6-2. Travis Hunter is probably the better player, overall player out of the two, but Shedeur Sanders is why they have 6 wins. I don't care how good Travis Hunter is at wide receiver or cornerback, you can only go as far as your quarterback can take you. And Shedeur Sanders has taken this Colorado team to a 6-2 record. He's the engine of this offense. He's the engine of this team. If Colorado wants to win games, he has to play good. Simple as that. And guess what? He always plays good. I've never seen him play a bad game. I've seen him make a bad throw or two, but overall, never a bad game. Always bounces back, insanely resilient, and he sits in that pocket for a very long time. It's very similar to Joe Burrow. I don't know if y'all watched that NFL game last night, by the way. Jamar Chase pulled off his best White Randy impersonation. What about that? But anyways, like I was saying, Joe Burrow against the Ravens, he was sitting in that pocket, and it looked like it was caving in, and he's still staying in there till the very last second, right until he got hit. Shedeur does the same exact thing. I think Colorado's going to be prepared. I think they're going to be ready. But here's another thing we need to talk about. This Buffalo team is now facing a new narrative. Weirdly enough, they are now no longer the underdog. They can no longer use the excuse, not even an excuse, what's what I'm looking for, I guess you'd say, the motivating factor of, oh yeah, everyone's doubting us and we got to prove the haters wrong. No, they are the favorites to win this ball game, and people believe in them now. And that's not good for this Colorado team because Coach Brown has even came out and said it. They'd rather be the villain, and they like being the villain. They like when people doubt them. They play better. So it's going to be something to pay attention to. Does Colorado, and we see this a lot with college athletes, do they start to lose their edge a little bit because now people aren't hating on them? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they do not lose that edge and hunger because you shouldn't need to always be doubted to play your best. On the flip side for Texas Tech, well, duh, they're going to be motivated. They're playing Colorado. This is like their Super Bowl because they're not making the playoff. Huge game for Tech. You're playing a ranked team within your conference, and everybody wants to beat Coach Prime. I know them boys are going to be ready. There's no question about it. But is Colorado going to be ready? Pay attention to how Colorado opens and starts the game. Are they going to be a little sluggish, especially coming off a bye week? I firmly believe sometimes a bye week can actually kill your mojo and swagger and just kill all your momentum. And we see that quite often, actually. Teams coming out of bye weeks, sometimes they look a little rusty. Whereas on the flip side, Texas Tech's coming off a huge win over Iowa State last week. All in all, when it comes down to it, I think it's going to be a relatively high-scoring affair. But I've been thinking about this game all week, and I am really confident in this prediction. I'm rolling with the Buffaloes. Give me Colorado 34, Texas Tech 28. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. A lot of great games to look forward to this week. And also going on during that game, and it kind of sucks, is the Georgia and Ole Miss one. So I guess we're going to have to multitask and try to watch both of those. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this game down below. But Romana.